Hi, in this video I'm going to be showing you the passenger experience aboard the Madeleine 2 ferry as we travel between Prince Edward Island and Les Iles-de-la-Madeleine. As we proceed up the ramp to deck 5, I'll describe the destination a little bit that we're heading to today. Les Iles-de-Madeleine is an archipelago located in the middle of the Gulf of St. Lawrence, found in Atlantic Canada. It is about 100 kilometers from Prince Edward Island and Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. There are a couple of ways to access the island. One is to fly in via the local airport, and the other one is to take the ferry like we're doing today. The Madeleine 2 was built in 2018 and was brought into service in 2021. It holds about 300 passenger vehicles and approximately 1,500 people. It is a very comfortable vessel to be sailing on, and it makes the total travel time of 5 hours go by fairly quickly. Special thank you to my wife for capturing the video for this section, as I was quite busy driving the vehicle and following the direction of the crew as we were parking the vehicles.
Nobody stopped?
Nope. You keep on recording. Once we left our vehicle, we proceeded up deck 6, where we went to the customer service desk to check into our cabin. We had reserved the cabin when we made our original booking. Well, with our key in hand, we proceeded up to deck 7, where the cabins are located, and it's very hotel-like up here with the long, narrow hallways with rows of doors. The cabins can accommodate 4 people. There's also a private washroom and space to hang up coats and store day bags that you may bring up with you. The beds were surprisingly comfortable, and they also provided extra blankets as well. My only criticism of the room is that the walls are pretty thin and you can quite easily hear the neighbors. But for a day crossing like we were doing, we were more than happy to have a clean, comfortable, and private space to enjoy.
Totally fine. Shower and a toilet, right? Shoot my shit everywhere.
Sure. Go to that side deck. Got some bunk beds. At the time we made this video, the government of Quebec required that all passengers wear face coverings. So you are going to see a lot of face coverings on this video. That has since been rescinded when we actually took our trip back to Prince Edward Island 4 days later. Masks were no longer required. One of the things that I noticed as I was walking through the vessel was that there was a lot of places where you could sit down comfortably. So if you decide that you don't want to spend the extra money on a cabin or one's not available, I wouldn't worry too much. There's lots of very comfortable seating throughout the vessel. If you're feeling a little bit hungry and you'd like something to eat, there is a restaurant on board, although I wouldn't call it so much a restaurant in that there's no table service. It is very much more of a cafeteria style. So you go up to the counter where they've got sort of a buffet style of food, different options available. They'll serve it to you. You take your tray, you pay for it, you go find a table and have a bite to eat. The food was good. There was no complaints there and quite reasonably priced, which is a lot to say because you are very much a captive audience while you're sitting on the ferry. The chairs in the observation lounge at the front of the vessel did remind me a lot of the business class seats in an airplane. They're fairly wide, nice and comfortable, and they offer a little bit of a recline. With the windows here too, if you are a little bit prone to motion sickness, this is a good place to sit and get a good view of the horizon and steady your nerves a little bit. The cafe located on deck 7 is one of the ways you can get up to the second floor of the front observation lounge, but it's also where you can pick up an espresso-based beverage. You can pick up a latte, a cappuccino, an espresso, an Americano. Excellent coffee. The gift shop in the middle of the boat was a bit sparse when it was open, which I chalk up to the fact that it is early in the tourist season and it is the first year of operation of this ferry. There's also a play area for the kids with lots of seating for parents.
These chairs are so cool.
This ferry does have an excellent outdoor space. The sun deck at the back is very spacious with a lot of tables, a lot of seating, and you can get bar service as well. Unfortunately for this crossing, it was wet, cold, and not particularly sunny.
Take a look at the houses. There's houses on top of that ridge there.
This footage was taken about 40 minutes before our arrival at Les Iles-de-la-Madeleine. And this island here is Ile d'Entrée, which is also known as the Entry Island. I took this footage on the return voyage back to Prince Edward Island because I wanted to show how really nice it was on the outer decks of the Madeleine too during the crossing when you have, nice, warm, sunny weather. As you can see, there's lots of seating outdoors as well, so if the weather does cooperate for the crossing, it's an excellent place to spend the time. And we are now at the end of our journey to Les Iles-de-la-Madeleine, so we are beginning our trip back to the car. Now the boat is full of vehicles, so the way that they organize the departure is that they clear out all the vehicles on the very bottom decks first. So there actually is a lot of time, especially if you're on level 5, before you actually have to return to your vehicle. They have to clear out all the vehicles from the below decks, and then they can lower the ramp, as shown here, so that we can all drive off.
Interesting.
Oh,
One of those things a lot.
wow.
It's fine, Karen.
Wow. Oh, it's your first one.
Yep.
Because of the orientation that the ferry is docked in, we have to do this little 3-point maneuver to actually depart. Fortunately, the deckhands, the guys directing us here, are actually very helpful to making sure that we navigate this properly.
Dear God.
And with that, we have completed our journey from Prince Edward Island onto Les Iles-de-Madeleine. It is a beautiful, beautiful place and well worth a visit if you ever get the chance. One thing to note is that this is a very popular tourist spot in the summertime. July and August, it's not unheard of that you have to book a year ahead of time to be able to find accommodation, and it's the same thing with the ferry. With that said, the people are incredibly friendly. There is not a bad view as you're driving along this island or cycling along this island. It's about 85 kilometers from top to bottom and beautiful long stretches of beach. It's certainly well worth the effort, and we have no regrets coming to visit. That's it for now. See you next time.